You can feel it. Something ancient moves beneath the surface of your thoughts, a quiet force that listens every night when you stop pretending to be awake. You've heard people talk about manifestation, but what if it isn't something you do? What if it's something that happens when you stop doing? Close your eyes, not yet and but soon, because in a few minutes you will begin a ritual that has traveled through decades, passed in whispers from Neville Goddard to his closest students, and now to you. This is not a meditation. It is a reprogramming of identity, a conversation between the small voice that doubts and the deeper voice that commands. You will speak certain words before you sleep, words that reach the place your daytime mind cannot enter. For 3 nights, you will do this. And from the first morning, the world will begin to rearrange itself around who you have decided to be. The rule is simple. The outer world mirrors the inner one, but the power hides in the night, because that is where the bridge between seen and unseen grows thin. When you drift into sleep, your conscious guard lowers, and whatever image, whatever feeling you carry into that descent becomes the seed your subconscious plants in the soil of reality. You don't need effort, you need surrender. And tonight you will practice that surrender, deliberately, consciously, with reverence. You have been imagining all your life, but now you will imagine with intent. Take a breath, slowly. Let the air move in like liquid gold. Exhale everything that belongs to the old identity, the one who waited, hoped, doubted. Tonight that self is dissolving. There are 3 nights ahead, 3 mirrors, 3 thresholds. The first night, creation. The second, stabilization. The third, embodiment. Each one carries a different vibration, a different command. And by the 3rd morning, you will not be the same. You will not even be asking if it worked, because the question belongs to the old you. The new you simply knows. If you are here, it is because something in you already remembered this law. You might call it intuition or destiny, but deep down you knew. Reality was never fixed. It was fluid, and you, the dreamer, were the cause behind every wave. Now, a small request. Before we go deeper, make sure you stay for the 3 nights. Subscribe, not as a formality, but as a declaration. I commit to finish the ritual, because those who finish it rarely go back to their old perception of life. Your transformation begins tonight, and when you close your eyes after this session, your subconscious will begin its work. Do not rush, do not analyze, just listen. Allow the sound, the silence, the rhythm of the words to rewrite the atmosphere within you. You are about to meet yourself, not as the person who wishes, but as the being who commands. The clock is ticking slower now, and slower. Time bends when awareness deepens. You are crossing into the first night, and everything you say from this point forward will begin to move in the unseen. You can feel the air shifting. Every sound, every flicker of shadow reminds you the world is slowing down. But your mind is beginning to awaken. The day belongs to the noise, the night belongs to the Creator. And tonight, the night is calling you. You have lived under the illusion that creation happens during the day, that action, movement, effort, and planning are what make life change. But Neville whispered a different truth. All transformation begins in the silence of night, when the mind drifts towards sleep and imagination takes the throne. Right now, you are standing at the edge of 2 worlds, the fading light of what was and the vast darkness of what can be. Do not fear the dark. It is not absence, it is the womb of reality. It is where form is born, shaped and delivered to daylight. You might think you're alone in your room, but listen closer. You are surrounded by energy responding to your awareness. Every wall, every breath of air is vibrating with your state of being. You are speaking to the universe, not with words, but with feeling. And tonight, that feeling will change everything. You have carried many roles: worker, dreamer, believer, doubter, each one written on you by old assumptions. But the night erases labels. The night listens only to what you accept as true right now. The question is not what you want, but who you are when you close your eyes. When the world goes quiet, the mask falls, and what remains is your true identity, the I am behind every story. You may have forgotten your power, but your imagination never forgot you. It has been waiting patiently, like a loyal servant, ready to take command once you remember who you are. So tonight, you answer the call. Breathe in. Let the night enter you, thick, heavy, alive. Feel it pressing against your skin, like the pulse of the infinite. And as you breathe out, release the day, the noise, the doubt, the false urgency. In this silence, everything becomes possible. You are not waiting for change. You are becoming change. There is nothing to fix, nothing to chase. Only awareness to shift. You're both actor and director of the dream, and the dream is obedient. It cannot resist the voice of conviction. Every event in your life, every coincidence, every delay, every meeting was drawn by the vibration you carried before sleep. And tonight, you are about to tune that vibration to a higher frequency. The night is not passive. It is active creation disguised as stillness. It is the sacred hour when imagination rewrites existence. So, when you lie down later, remember this: you are not falling asleep. You are entering your workshop. You are descending into the subconscious, the only place where real change begins. In the darkness, nothing is impossible. The laws of the day cannot follow you here. You are free to choose again. And the moment you accept a new identity and imagination, the universe bends quietly to obey. That is the call of the night, and you have answered. If you can feel the night answering you, stay with it. Subscribe, so the next ritual finds you when the second night begins. You have always felt it, that strange stillness when the world sleeps. Cities quiet down, screens dim, voices fade, and yet something becomes louder inside you. That is not coincidence. That is creation preparing itself. During the day, your conscious mind guards every doorway. It analyzes, questions, interrupts. It demands evidence before it allows belief. But the night removes the guards. The gate to the subconscious swings open, and imagination slips through unnoticed. Neville called this moment the bridge of sleep. It is the sacred interval between waking and dreaming, where thought is no longer thought, but command. You've been told to work harder, to stay realistic, to face facts. But facts are nothing more than the fossils of old assumptions. And when night falls, the fossils soften. You can reshape them with nothing but feeling. Why does the night create faster? Because resistance sleeps. Doubt becomes quiet. The voice that says it's impossible begins to fade under the weight of darkness. And in that silence, every word you speak sinks straight into the soil of the subconscious. You do not have to shout to the universe. You only have to whisper in the language of conviction. The universe does not respond to effort. It responds to state. Imagine water settling after a storm. The surface smooths and the reflection returns. That's what the night does to your mind. It stills the surface so the image of your desire can appear clearly, without distortion, without noise. In the daytime, you repeat affirmations with tension, hoping to convince yourself. At night, you don't need to convince. You simply feel it real. The subconscious takes the feeling as fact and begins arranging reality to match it. There is no delay between cause and effect here. Only the rhythm of acceptance. The faster you surrender, the faster creation moves. Look at the stars, each one a sun, burning in silence. They do not rush. They do not question whether they shine enough. They simply are. That same quiet certainty is the state of manifestation. When you rest tonight, you will practice this certainty. You will let your chosen vision float above you like a constellation. You will feel it, not as something distant, but as something already alive within your chest. That is the secret. You never attract what you want. You attract what you are willing to feel as real. During the day, the world reflects your past assumptions. During the night, you plant new ones. That is why 3 nights are enough to shift a lifetime. So before sleep, slow everything down. Breathe deeper. Whisper your chosen words with the softness of someone who already possesses the outcome. And then, let go. The subconscious does not need repetition. It needs faith. And faith is nothing more than sustained imagination. As you lie there, remember, you are not drifting into emptiness. You are descending into creation. You are entering the blueprint room of the universe, and every scene you hold for a moment longer than doubt becomes part of the design. The night creates faster because it has no audience. Only you, your breath, and the infinite listening beneath it. If these words stir something in you, keep them alive. Share this ritual with one other soul who is ready to remember. Creation expands through recognition. You are ready. The mind is quiet. The body knows the position. Now the words that you carry into sleep will begin their work. This is not prayer, it is alignment, a deliberate act of choosing a new self before you cross the threshold of dreams. There will be 3 nights, each one a different frequency of the same creation. The first speaks the seed, the second nurtures it, the third allows it to bloom. The first night, the seed, lie back. Let your eyes rest halfway between open and closed. You are floating between worlds now. Whisper to yourself, this is the first night. I accept that I already am the version of me who has what I desire. The world is beginning to rearrange itself in my favor. Pause after each line. Feel the words drop into silence like stones sinking into still water. Do not force belief. Let the sensation of already being wash through you. See the end scene, not as a wish, but as a memory. You have lived it. You are remembering. Hold that picture until your breathing becomes slow and heavy. When sleep takes you, it will carry that image as instruction. The second night, the alignment. The second night arrives and something in you feels different, maybe lighter, maybe more certain. Return to the same quiet. Say softly, everything around me is moving in harmony with my new state. The universe knows who I am now. I rest in this truth. This night is about trust. No forcing, no proving, just the calm authority of someone who knows the order has been placed. If the old thoughts appear, smile at them. They are echoes. They have no power without your attention. Let them fade like clouds across a wide sky. The third night, the embodiment. When the third night comes, you no longer speak as a seeker. You speak as fulfillment itself. Whisper, the old self dissolves completely. The new identity stands in its place. I wake in the morning as the completed version of me. Feel gratitude rise. Not for what is coming, but for what is. Notice how the body softens when gratitude is real. That softness is the signal that the subconscious has received the command. You may sense a subtle peace, a quiet certainty that asks for nothing. Stay in that feeling as you drift off. From this night forward, the outer world will begin to echo the inner change. You will see evidence, small, perfect signs, of a new pattern unfolding. Treat each sign as confirmation, not coincidence. Remember, you are not repeating magic words. You are reminding consciousness of its own authority. Every phrase is a mirror held up to the self that already is. Keep your heart steady, your breathing slow. You have rewritten the script. Now let the scene play itself out in daylight. If these nights have moved you, stay connected here. The next voice that arrives will guide you deeper into the second ritual. Your journey continues with the dawn. Morning light slips across your face. Something feels different even before thought begins. You sense an inner stillness, as if the air itself is listening. 3 nights have passed. The words you whispered are now echoes that keep vibrating beneath waking life. Nothing explosive has happened, and yet everything feels rearranged. This is how real change enters, quietly, respectfully, without permission. You do not need fireworks, you need awareness. Notice how your body moves today. The way you reach for your phone, the way you look at the world outside your window. Every gesture carries a softer confidence, a slower rhythm. That is evidence. You used to search for signs. Now signs find you. A message, a coincidence, a moment of déjà vu. These are not random. They are reflections, the first ripples of a new assumption taking root. Reality is obedient to the tone of your being, and your tone has changed. Do not analyze how. Do not measure progress. Measurement belongs to doubt. Creation belongs to acceptance. When you wake, continue the same feeling you carried into sleep. Let the day be an extension of the night's imagination. If you catch yourself returning to the old story, stop. Breathe once. Remember the words, "The old dissolves, the new is now." Feel how the sentence reshapes your posture. That small shift is enough to redirect the current. You may notice people responding differently to you. A conversation opening, an opportunity aligning. A situation that once resisted, now flowing easily. Do not call it luck, call it recognition. The world is simply recognizing who you decided to be. This is the hidden rhythm Neville spoke of, the law of correspondence between inner and outer. The bridge of incidents begins to form. You do not have to build it, you only have to walk it. Each step you take in calm expectation shortens the distance between image and experience. Each doubt you release frees the universe to do its quiet work. Think of it this way: for 3 nights you planted seeds in unseen soil. Today, you are the gardener who trusts the ground. You do not dig it up to check if it is growing. You water it with faith, you warm it with gratitude, and you let time reveal what already exists in potential. As you move through the hours, keep a gentle awareness behind everything you do. That awareness is your new state of being. Protect it. Feed it with small acts that match it. When you speak, speak from completion. When you act, act from certainty. When you rest, rest as someone whose wish is fulfilled. This is not pretending, it is alignment. Pretending says it might happen. Alignment says it already has. And if in the middle of the day the old vibration tries to return, smile. It is only memory. Memories dissolve in the presence of new awareness. Remember the feeling of the 3rd night, the peace, the quiet authority. That is your true state now. If these words bring you calm, keep walking with them. Subscribe not out of habit but to anchor this awareness. The next chapter arrives when the night calls again. You wake before the alarm. Light moves across the ceiling like a slow tide. For a moment you forget who you used to be, and that forgetting feels like peace. The 3 nights are behind you, but their echo remains, a hum under every heartbeat. You are no longer waiting for proof. You are living from proof. The proof is the quiet confidence that fills the space where worry used to live. You notice it in small ways, how you breathe before speaking, how you stand, how you choose your words with calm certainty. The world mirrors that calm back to you. The dawn does not announce itself with thunder. It simply appears, and darkness retreats because it must. So it is with identity. When the new self rises, the old one fades without a fight. You may catch glimpses of your previous life. Old thoughts, old habits tapping at the window of your mind. Do not argue with them. Just smile, the way you smile at a dream you've outgrown. They are fragments of a script you no longer perform. Today is not about repeating the ritual, it is about living the result. Carry yourself as the fulfilled version of you. When you walk, feel the weight of completion in every step. When you speak, let your tone be steady, unhurried, deliberate. When you meet the eyes of another, let them see certainty, not arrogance, but presence. This is what Neville called living in the end. Not chasing, not convincing, but resting inside the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And it is rest that creates results. Effort belongs to the old world. Faith belongs to the new one. If doubts rise again, treat them like passing weather. You do not change the sky by shouting at clouds. You let them drift, knowing the blue behind them is permanent. Each time you return to the feeling of fulfillment, you strengthen a neural path, a new pattern, until eventually it becomes automatic. That is transformation, not sudden, but certain. Look around you. Listen carefully. The outer world is adjusting itself to your inner tone. People may speak to you differently. Paths may open that once felt closed. This is not magic, it is alignment. What you accepted in imagination now finds its reflection in form. And your only task is gratitude, not the shallow gratitude of manners, but the deep gratitude of recognition. Say quietly, even now, I'm thankful for what already is. Feel how that sentence softens your chest. That softness is strength. It means resistance has ended. You have crossed the bridge. You have stepped out of waiting and into being. From this dawn forward, every moment is a continuation of that choice. If this new calm stays with you, share it. Write one line below. I have awakened to my new identity. Let your words become the proof of change for someone still searching. The ritual is complete. 3 nights, 3 thresholds, and now this quiet dawn that belongs entirely to you. You do not need to search for signs anymore. You have become the sign. Every breath, every choice, every calm step is the evidence of a new pattern unfolding. There was a time when you looked outside yourself for proof. You waited for a message, a miracle, a moment of confirmation. But the real miracle happened in the stillness, the instant you accepted a new idea of who you are. Creation was never loud. It whispered. It waited for the moment you would finally listen, and you listened. Now the question, did it work, has no place here, because the one asking that question no longer exists. You have changed frequencies, and what once felt like hope has become knowing. From this day forward, treat life as reflection, not pursuit. Every circumstance is a mirror held up to your current assumption. If the image pleases you, say thank you. If it doesn't, shift inward, gently, without judgment, and the mirror will follow. Do not rush the process. The tree does not rush its bloom. It simply remains rooted in certainty. Be that still. Remember what these nights have taught you, that imagination is not fantasy, that feeling is not weakness, that silence is not emptiness. They are the language through which the unseen speaks. As you move through ordinary hours, working, talking, planning, carry a quiet echo of the ritual with you. Let each pause between words be another doorway to awareness. Let each breath remind you that the creative act never ends, it only shifts scenes. And when new desires arise, welcome them. They are invitations to remember again. You now know how to cross the bridge. 3 nights, 3 statements, 3 breaths of surrender. That is all it takes to return to your creative center. Before you go, close your eyes once more. Feel the rhythm of your heart and the stillness beneath it. Whisper inwardly, not as repetition but as remembrance. I am, I have always been, I will always create. That is the eternal law behind every form, every dream, every life that unfolds before your eyes. And when you open them again, see the world not as something to conquer, but as something to express. The work is not to force change. The work is to stay awake. If these words met you where you needed them, stay close. Subscribe, leave your reflection below, and keep walking with this awareness. The next chapter of your awakening begins with a single decision. to remain conscious of who you are.